Good morning. What's going on, everyone? Got a busy weekend coming up, and I'm plain exhausted. Whew. So I did get some footage from our house, our trail. I got more scares off camera than I did on camera, so I don't know if I'll release any of it. See that the camera couldn't see as far down as some of the other really good scares. So let's see what happens. Sorry for the yawning. So, well, as always, if you guys have any questions, feel free to ask. So, out of curiosity, what's your favorite type of scares? I know we've grown tired of clowns, but do you guys like, do you still like clowns as a scare? Do you like the chainsaws being scares? I mean, jump scares are always good. Stories that immerse you in the house is good too. So I'm just curious, what type of haunted house scare would you like? These days I prefer a little bit more immersive with the storytelling, not just the combination of different things that don't make sense. Like you'll have a rat boy in one room, and then you go into the next room and it's a clown room, and then you go into the next room and it's something else. Now, if it's all part of underneath a singular theme, I could understand that, but when there's no cohesion, you know, it's kind of detracting from the enjoyment and the immersion of being at that themed house, right? Usually, you know, there's a story behind it. And our story for our haunt is theater. So everything going on in the theater. Hey, what's going on, Liam? Hello, Bennett. Thanks for stopping in. So with the theater, you have different rooms. You have, you know, the costume person, you have makeup, you have a closet of a whole bunch of costumes. So you know, with the combination of everything like that, you know, stage. What car do I have? I've got a Nissan Rogue. I also have an Armada, a Nissan Armada that I'm working on getting back on the road. And then I also have my Nissan Sentra SER Spec V that I used to use for drag racing and, you know, daily driver. But I'm working on some of that to get that back on. We even have a room for props. We have, you know, the lights in the sound room. So just trying to give you the theater scare. Mr. Stars, what's going on? Thanks for stopping in. What's my dream? As in what? What's my dream to do? I guess my dream would be what I'm kind of doing now is obviously I would love to go full time on YouTube, but that would be my dream, is to bring you guys to places, see different things, so it's not like, the image of the influencer, where they sit there, oh, look at me, I'm in the Maldives and I do this and I do that, and no, it's like, hey, check this place out. You should come out here. You should see this yourself. Would like to be a billionaire, like as a dream. Nice. Okay, well, having money just makes things easier. You just have a different set of problems. I just like to be able to, get by happily and not have to worry about anything, especially for the family or, any of that stuff. But like I said, I want to be able to travel. I used to travel a lot before, but with the family and settling down. Hey, what's going on, Gary? What city? Right now we're in Central Florida. Driving from one side to another. But yeah, that's kind of I think that'd be the thing, I like scare acting. I like doing that stuff. It's just taking a toll. But I also like experiencing the experiences of traveling and going to events. Like I said, I don't want to be like that nasty ideal of, oh, look at me. I'd rather just bring you along with me, and maybe, okay, so here, look at it this way. When I go to certain places and we hear about stories about these people, I look around and I'm like, oh, like Hemingway, used to live in Key West for a bit. 5-6 years I used to live down there. And, people would go to Hemingway and they'd look around in Hemingway's bar and they're like, wow, I wonder if this is the stool he sat on. And it's like, well, Hemingway's bar was actually Tony's, just down the road. That's where he sat and drank, and that's where he took the urinal out of the building and put it in his backyard as a lawn ornament / water for the birds and cats. So you don't know some of these stories. But that was kind of the whole mystique of, you know, going someplace that somebody's known for, and, you know, wondering what they did, or what was going on, and, you know, at the time, and like reliving their footsteps. So I've always loved that, and I kind of want to do that with you guys. I want you guys to be able to go to certain places, you know. So if I go somewhere to eat and we do a Breaking Bread with Dread interview, you know, kind of like, oh, this is where this thing was, you know. People go to film locations, even though they don't look like the film anymore. Some of them still do, because time doesn't change for certain places, and times change for other places. Alright, well, I appreciate it, Liam. Thanks again. Oh boy, it's 100 degrees. Yeah, it's 76 degrees for us right now. When was I born? 1973. Does that sound good to you? Again, thanks again, Liam, for stopping in. You have a good night. But yeah, like I said, that's what I want to bring out to other people, to have that curiosity, to have the incentive to go to certain places, you know. And I've been blessed to have media access to a lot of the haunted houses and trails and scream parks. I'm trying to build that up and do more. And I also try to do something different. I try to give them opportunities. Instead of just one film, hey, here it is, here I am. You know, I've been breaking it up to like this house for this, maybe this scare zone, do another video. So, you know, again, for you guys, it's small little videos, you know, 3, 4, 5 minutes long, sometimes 8 minutes long, depending on how long each house is, each trail. But at least to get you guys to see the sights and not see everything, you know. Some of them will show you everything. And I don't mind showing everything. I just want to make sure that it's appropriate. You know, you see just enough, and, you know, get your curiosity to go to some of these places. You know, experience these things. You know, going to theme parks and hitting on the roller coaster and seeing how cool some of these roller coasters can be, and how much fun the excitement is to ride some of these rides. So it'd be nice to be able to, like, bring more to you, but having a full-time job, you know, puts a hamper in it. But it is what it is. I got to take care of my family, so it's, you know, family first, which is why, you know, I don't have as much as other content creators. Like this week, I've been working, I'll have it 70-something hours for this week, so that leaves no time for anybody. You know, work, go home, pass out, get back up, go back out, you know, and you know, see the family roll a little bit, spend like 5-10 minutes of quality time with the family, which is why I try to bring them with me when we go to certain places, when we do these events, so that way we spend more time together, and, you know, doing family things. And that's one thing that my wife and I had in common and always loved, is the fact that we go to these haunted houses or theme parks, you know, we have a good time with all that. So more and more of these places, there's 2, 3, looks like 4 of the haunted attractions are gonna start doing Christmas haunts, right? So one of them that's been doing them is Sir Henry's. Another one that at the new location that they're at now is Tales of Terror. Last year, Ominous Descent did theirs. So that, you know, so we had 3 last year doing their thing. This year, Pemberton Haunters are Pemberton Haunted Acres, and they are going to do a Christmas one this year. So we'll have 4 places to visit. You know, like I said, I appreciate the opportunities that I've been given for these places, and I still go back when I can to buy my own ticket, buy my own way in, and go experience it on my own. Baklu, welcome. I hope I said your name right. So, appreciate you commenting and saying hello. So, yeah, so like I said, with all the Christmas haunt, we're going to be, that's going to be another fun time to try to get to all these places at the same time. And they're not all right around each other either. Dennis, what's going on? Hello. Am I a truck driver? No, I'm just driver. I sit up in an SUV, so it seems like I sit up higher than I actually am. So, but I did go through with the 360 camera work and create a whole bunch of little shorts. I got to start pushing those out on YouTube, Instagram, and TikTok. So I just, like I said, I've been too busy to put them out recently. So as I have time, I've been creating the shorts. I just haven't had time to like figure out which platform each short is going to go on. Because again, I could always just mass produce them and throw them out everywhere, but I figured, you know, give everybody their own little cut. So Instagram will have one type, and TikTok will have another. YouTube will have YouTube will basically have everything first, and then everything else will kind of trickle off elsewhere. But that's why I created these shorts specifically for this. Yeah, it is a cozy show. Thank you. Like I said, it's just us chilling out, talking. You know, cozy up to a pillow and just letting you guys check out the sights of the nice darkness that I drive in. What's going on, John? Like I said, I appreciate you guys stopping in. It's been how long is the drive home? I'm actually going to another job site right now. And then from there, that job site home should be about 45 to an hour, depending on traffic in the morning. Dennis, I am headed to another job site. I gotta do a site survey. So I try to drive at night so that way I can get there, and as soon as the sun's up, we can look around and see what's going on. Right now we're headed to another section of Central Florida. But yeah, so those are those haunts. That's the videos, all the shorts I'm gonna be dropping. I still have shorts. I think I still have shorts dropping every day from the conventions. So with that every morning, and then Files of Horror has shorts every Thursday, and then I think we still have videos from Hollow Scream in Tampa and Hollow Scream in Orlando that I have to finish working on. They've already been uploaded. It's just basically labeling them. John says, love driving at night, real cozy. It is. It's very relaxing. That's, again, this is why I figured, you know, when I do these, basically a little one-on-one time, just no direction as to what we talk about. Yes, it is a beautiful start to Halloween. Dennis, you're funny. I see you're coming. But like I said, I like these night drives. They're very peaceful. And with it just being a night drive, we can talk about whatever. Anything you guys want to talk about, I'll pretty much answer almost anything. And you guys know me, I'm not about rage baiting or all up in my feels about this or that, and let's riot and whatever. Let's you know, let's chill and talk. Yes, always keep a bottle to keep the cold out. Yeah, I just set the cruise control and kind of roll with it. I try to hit some back roads so that way it's not like a straight shot from one spot to another. Just so that way, you know, we got some winds and turns and a different view. Yeah, it's always nice to have a passenger hanging out. Have a little co-pilot chilling with you, BSing, talking about whatever. And I appreciate that with you guys. You guys are my co-pilot. Like I said, you guys kind of help guide the direction of the conversation too, so you're part of the show. Alaska's got some insane views. Yeah, I actually want to drive through Canada to Alaska. I would love to do that drive. I think that would be so cool. So not just fly up there, like literally drive through Canada. It is sketchy though, so you have to be prepared for it. And you know, again, this is why if the dream would be to do YouTube more often, I'd have to be able to support a family, and that's why, you know, memberships and stuff like that. So working on doing some trying to figure out Patreon, trying to figure that out on how to make that. Like I said, I want to make sure I'm giving you, I'm going to go this way so you guys can see the train better, or maybe not. Yeah, there you go, you can see the train better now. I want to give you guys, if you do join any memberships, Patreon, or any of that stuff, I want to give you guys your money's worth. I don't want to just like, you know, oh, you're doing it for a money grab. No, I want to give you something more. Yeah, I mean, don't get me wrong. There's times that flying is so much better, because if you got to be somewhere and you can fly there, great. But I think the experience of road trips, those alone. I mean, we did one road trip one time where my buddy and I drove in an unproven car. We've never driven far with it, so we have no idea how reliable this vehicle is. It was reliable enough for like, you know, around town, but we've never taken it out of town. So here we are, taking it out of town. We drive for a few hours, hit the gas station. It's about an hour and a half maybe. Hit the gas station, and that's when I realized, crud, I left my wallet at home. We had to double back so I can get my wallet. Now, if that doesn't tell you how this trip is starting, right? We're on our way to go see a friend of ours that we graduated high school with. Actually, he didn't graduate with me. He graduated with my buddy, but we all went to school together. I was in a year ahead of them. So he was graduating college, and you know, with all of us, we're, you know, we all look at each other as brothers, like we're family. So we went up there to support him, to go watch him walk and get his diploma, or not diploma, whatever, his certificate, bachelor's, whatever it was that he was getting from this college course that he was doing. Not course, but you know what I mean. So he had to walk with, you know, cap and gown. Well, on the way there, we get a call. I forget how it was, because we kept on calling, but he wasn't available because he was at work. But his wife was. So my buddy would call, and he was the one that was calling, right? So he'd call, and then come to find out, she was pregnant. We already knew she was pregnant, but she was giving birth. She went into labor, so she went to the hospital. So now we're like trying to contact, you know, her, and she's telling us that she's going to the hospital because now she's in labor and her water broke. So we're trying to, like, oh boy, you know. So we're trying to get up there. We're trying to make it. We never made it to my buddy's graduation ceremony. We never made it. I enjoyed all planes, trains, and automobiles. Depends on the distance. Road trips make such good memories. If it's bad memory, it's a good to look back and laugh at it. Yes, exactly. Well, that's the thing, right? The bad memories are what makes road trips good. When it's peaceful and nothing happens, there's nothing to talk about. Yeah, at the time, those bad moments are something that you need to overcome, but, you know, after the fact, you laugh at it, and that's what we did. So we ended up in the hospital, and this was a fun one. We ended up trying to figure out where they were. So we knew we were missing his walk, and they told us just to go to the hospital to meet up with him. So what he did was, as soon as the ceremony started, he was going from the hospital, and then they would tell him when they were going to get ready to call his name, so he'd have enough time to leave the hospital, to go walk, and then turn around and come back to the hospital for the baby. We got to the hospital roughly around the same time she was actually delivering the baby. So mind you, we went from Florida to Georgia to Alabama, and that's where we were. Ended up staying the night there. You know, got some good laughs afterwards, reminisced, and congratulated our friend for both walking and being a father, and our other friend for being a mother. And then I get a call. My grandmother's not doing good. She was rushed to the hospital. So in the morning, we drive to South Carolina. I have to convince my friend that now we have to go to South Carolina to go find my grandmother. And unfortunately, again, this is before we all had cell phones, right? So some of us had pagers. That's how far back it was. It was in the early 90s and mid 90s. So we go to South Carolina. We don't know which hospital she was taken to. So all we could do is try to figure out which hospital made the most sense and try to find the hospital, and pull over somewhere and ask somebody directions to the hospital. We ended up finding my grandmother, and as soon as we walked in there, first thing she did, she ripped apart my buddy. She like said some sort of joke, and she just ripped him apart. It was funny. And so here she is on her deathbed making fun of my friend that didn't want to drive there in the first place, and here he is, getting made fun of the first time meeting my grandmother. And he looks at me and he's like, I guess this comedy thing runs in your family. And I'm like, yeah it does. We like having fun and poking fun at people, and friendly, not rude, but friendly, like, and we make fun, jokes at each other. So then my uncle shows up. We meet up with him at the hospital, follow him back to his house, stay the night there. Then the next morning we get up, we head out to come back. Well, my mom's now in the hospital. So now we gotta go, on the way back, hit the next hospital and go see my mom and see what's going on and all that. And she's supposedly on her deathbed too at that time. Yeah. And at least this one here was going past where we needed to go home. So on this road trip, we had to go to 3 different hospitals in 3 different states, and 3 different reasons, right? Because grandmother had the heart attack type issue. Friend was pregnant and having a baby, and then my mom, which is an amputee, before they amputated her leg, that's what was going on. Was there was an issue with the infection in her leg, so they were gonna amputate. After our visit, they decided that the best way to save her, instead of trying to save the leg, let's just save her. So they had to, they decided that they were going to make her an amputee. So, but yeah, that was the fun road trip. I mean, we still talk about it. Obviously, I told you guys. Yeah, it is an insane road trip, but think about it. If we only went to go see my friend's graduation, that'd be the only thing we talk about. Nothing else happened. You know what I mean? But with all this, there's more to the story. It's like, wow, you know, this, and that, and then we went here, then we did. And like I said, we still talk about it. We still laugh about it. And, you know, again, with a car that was unproven for a road trip, we put it through its paces. And it was an older car. It was like a late 70s, early 80s model car back in those days. So, you know, old used car. And here we are driving all over the States. We used to go to Ozfest in West Palm Beach. Plus, you get to see your folks. Yeah, exactly. I got to see friends and family. Not under the greatest of circumstances, but I got to see family members while I was there to see friends and family. So, Ozfest, right? Same guy, he and I would drive down to West Palm Beach. We drive overnight and do Ozfest. And as soon as Ozfest was over in West Palm, get back to the car, and I mean, we were burnt out, exhausted from lack of sleep the night before, because we drove overnight to get there early in the morning, do the whole concert, and then we would drive down to Miami. We had a friend that lived in Miami, and he was a sports medicine guy for a high school. Right? So we'd go down there and stay with him at his place. And sometimes there was a couple years that he was actually house sitting for somebody, so we'd stay at the place he was house sitting. I'm like 20, so I plan to visit states in one road trip when I get the money. Hey, you're gonna have a blast. I'm gonna tell you that. You're gonna have a good time. In their times of need, nothing better, bro. Yeah, no, you know, it's you know, it's funny when it comes to family like that you know, you have certain friends and you have certain family members that you never talk to them, and then when you do, you know, it's like time kind of stood still, and you just keep up, you know, and you catch up like nothing ever happened. Wow, dude, that dude's flying. But yeah, when you plan out the road trip, make sure you have contingencies in plan, and on top of that, when you plan it out, plan to have days that will take longer than you expected, because you can't plan everything by the minute. And sometimes you see something off to the side, you're like, hey, this is right around the corner, why don't we go there? So have those little contingencies planned out for a buffer. So if you think it's gonna, like, let's just say if it's gonna take you 3 days, give yourself a week. You know what I mean? But if you're gonna do like the whole US, you know, like one summer or something like that, or a full year, have all that stuff planned out and give yourself more time. You know, you'll make up time as it is, and sometimes you'll be like, there's nothing here, let's just keep going to the next place, because it was like, yeah, it's a small place, small town, we can get in, get out, and move on. And then there's other times that there's like so much going on that you didn't plan for, because it was like, well, they got a mountain coaster we can go here, they got a ski lift that's not for skis anymore, it's just a people mover to get up a mountain, you know, so it's not like you're skiing. You're just got to get up to a restaurant that's on top of the mountain, you know, and the views and all that stuff that's up there. The States is so big, bro. Yeah, be prepared. Yes, John's not kidding. Be prepared. And you know, if you think about it, some people just do mini trips. So they'll do a trip to like, let's see, oh, like up north, right? There's a circular trip that you can make to go see like the natural parks up north, and they have like a nice little circle, so you can see like caverns and ravines and outlooks and stuff like that you can go to like different points, and it's a nice little circular path. So you'll find it on Facebook. People will do stuff like that. YouTube, people have like their little recommendations for points of interest to travel around like that. Of course, we'll do it with friends, like in a year, to this road trip, and enjoy every state fully. That's why I need a lot of money. Need to do this trip before I get married. Yeah, no, yeah, that's that's the bummer part, right? You know, you give up part of your life to join with somebody else's life, you know, and unless you two are on the same path for that travel, it's hard to do that, you know. My wife likes to travel too, but she does not like traveling, you know. So she likes to go places, but she doesn't like to go to the place. She just wants to be there. So, you know, everybody's got their own thing. And you know, once you start a family, you know, you spend a little bit more time at home, and that's what I've been doing. You know, now my daughter's getting a little bit older. We still try to, you know, spend time together. But when she was younger, I was trying to spend as much time as I could, like recitals, just anything that she had going on, try to spend some time there. Hey, what's going on, Sammy? Cougar Man, what's up? MILF Man, I see you, Milfy. But yeah, it's just like I said, if you do these small little trips, you can see all the states, and you don't, you know, again, you can plan it out, and when you do get married, you know, you can still plan it out. We have, like, we're still planning out the rest of the haunt season, and see that we have, you know, a few more weekends for us to haunt at our haunt, and then we have other places we haven't visited yet, and still, you know, with the media nights, we still plan on going back to certain places as guests versus press or media. And, you know, again, I'm always trying to record everything and anything anyway, so I'll probably get some more footage. I just wouldn't be able to get it inside the trails unless they let me. And I'm working on other ideas that I have. So, you know, it's all about time and money. Everything's time and money. But you got to at least have a plan, and be prepared for that plan to like change, and just learn to pivot and make the best out of what you can. So that's what I would do. I'd worry about state by state and kind of go from there. And I wouldn't concentrate on one state, you know what I mean? But if you go to one state, you know, do like a week. You know, hey, we go to this place, we got this place, we got that place. That way there's a couple days of traveling. Everything else is like a few hours away. And then, you know, that way you can maximize your time. And if you do it like one, let's say you do a summer, right? whatever however many weeks vacation you have. Most people have 2 weeks vacation. Some people have 3 weeks. So, you do like a 2-weeker to go to a state or two, and just plan a whole week there, and then the other, couple days before and after would be the travel there and travel back. And depending on how far away, you'll figure it out. Like I said, we're still trying to figure out the Halloween season to hit a couple more places. There's a couple more places that we haven't been to yet, ever, and we want to go and see them, and hopefully they'll let us record. Otherwise, we'll just record, what we are allowed to. I'm going to ask to record inside the houses if I can. But I know certain places that I've already had media night access, I'm probably not going to be able to. But a Petrified Forest, I wasn't able to go during the media night that they had for their first weekend, because we had our, it was the same time with our first weekend. But they do have like a Thursday available, so I'm trying to see if I can go on a Thursday out there. And like I said, I got some other ideas. I want to do some stuff, but I won't know if I'll be able to do it. And I did talk with them, so it's up in the air. Like I said, I know I'm being vague, but I also don't want to jinx it, because I don't want to talk about it too much and then it not happen and then disappoint anybody, because I'm really going to disappoint myself more because I'm disappointing somebody else. You know what I'm saying? So I want to get it done first, but there's things in the works that if it doesn't happen this year, it's going to happen next year. Ooh, what is my favorite state? Surprisingly, Florida has a lot of stuff that people that live in Florida just don't. We overlook it. You know what I mean? So, whatever state you're living in, there's a lot of stuff going on that, because you live there, you overlook it, and you lose that awe moment of, this is cool. But other than where I live, let's see, I do like Washington State. That's a fun one. I used to go there every couple of years. I haven't been there in quite a few years now, so we were supposed to go this year. That's not going to happen. We want to plan on trying to go. Hopefully everything, again, money is a key issue, right? So hopefully we'll have enough that we can go again this coming year. And reason being that that's one of my fun states, is there's a lot of stuff out there to do. Again, you're looking at hiking, natural stuff, forests, stuff like that. But because I'm so close to the north, or where Canada is, we go to Canada too. So that's kind of where I use it as a excuse. But what I did enjoy, we went to Hawaii a few years ago, and I am kicking myself so hard every single time I think about it. My sister-in-law was stationed there, and we went before she was restationed to another location. We should have went within the first year that she was there, and then we would have been able to go twice. So we saved so much money going and staying with her that now we don't have that opportunity. So we would definitely spend triple of what we spent to go out there. Because we used a Enterprise rental car for 1 week, but we were there for 18 days. And the rest of the time, we used her Gunny's vehicle. but Ergani was renting out the vehicle for that 1 week to another somebody else, whatever, you know, one of those rideshare thingies, whatever they call it. It's kind of like Uber, but it's a car rental service that you do as a private owner. So, being that they had already pre-scheduled all that, they had first dibs on the car for that week, which wasn't a big deal. So we saved money there, and then I spent a little bit of money at Enterprise, whoopie-doo. But I would have spent a lot more money had it been for the full time that we were there, for the full duration. We went to like all the different places. They took us to all the little eateries and temples and beaches, and I made her hike with me. If it wasn't every day, it was like every other day was a hike somewhere. So yeah, Hawaii is definitely a life-changing place. You know, you have a different attitude when you're there. But I still want to see the rest of the U.S. I've been, you know, I've flown into Europe and different places in Europe and all that. So I'd like to go back to that. I've got friends in England and in Europe that I want to go visit that I've never seen. So I think that would be fun to do. But for the state, I think I want to try to concentrate a little bit more on the States for right now. See family, see different states I haven't been to. Like we drove over the Hoover Dam. I'm not sure if they're allowed to drive over the Hoover Dam. Have I been to Turkey? No, I have not. Yeah, staying with your friends and family can save an insane amount of money. And that's what we try to do, you know. You try to go to certain places. And we don't always stay with friends and family, even though we go visit some of them. They're just not able to house us, and we don't want to be, you know, intrusive like that either. So if they offer and they have room, then we'll go. But if they don't, we stay near, you know, we'll find a hotel nearby. Yes, I am working tonight. I'm headed to the next place for the survey. I got a meeting early in the morning, so headed off to the next place. Do a little bit of work, get the meeting going, do some more work, and then drive home. And then I got a haunt tonight. Well, are we past 12? Yeah, we're past 12 o'clock Eastern. So yeah, we got a haunt Friday and Saturday night that we're going to do, and then I go back to work Sunday night. Start all this all over again. So I hope you guys are having a good night. I hope you guys are enjoying hanging out with me. And just, you know, shooting the shit, talking about whatever. Anthony, what's going on? Where do I live? I live in Florida. Cougar Man, perfect date, night. You and Death Dealer going to haunted houses. We're actually haunting this weekend. So we'll be doing the scaring to the people. I'm from India, man. Nice to meet you. Oh, I appreciate it. Thank you for hanging out with us all the way from India. Like I said, feel free to have any comments. We're just a chill little late night, you know. For us, it's late night. It's 12:15 in the morning. So it's officially our Friday. Even Cougar Man says hello. Am I saying your name right? Anurag? I hope I said your name right. But again, I appreciate all the way from India that come hang out with us. Did you guys see that lightning? That was kind of cool. Pronounce it right. Thank you. Awesome. It's always hard. You never want to say somebody's name wrong. And when it's something that you're not used to. Even my last name, people have a hard time. And it's like, it's really not as hard as you think it is. But, you know, when you're not used to something like that, it happens. Dennis, what's going on? Worst state is Nevada. Lost 1K. I will never gamble for the rest of my life. Ouch. Yeah, I've been to Vegas. And we gambled a little. And you know how much I won? I won enough to know that I'm never going to spend that kind of money again. I only had a couple $100 on me. And I said, we'll see what happens. And what I do is I have money in one hand, in one pocket that goes out. This is the money I spend and plan to lose, and any winnings goes back in the other pocket. And depending on how much I win, I may decide to off the winnings. If there's not enough, then I'll probably spend it all. If there's a lot, and depending on how much you consider a lot, I'll either split it in half and spend that half. The other half I'll keep and never spend again. So that's the way I go. I've always done it like that. I don't know why, but at least I don't feel as bad when I don't have as much money anymore in my pocket. But I know I'm going to throw away a couple hundred, and so that's how I look at it. Yeah, it's a bad thing. Some people get stuck in it and lose everything. So yeah, be careful out there when you do stuff like that. Either don't do it at all, or have a methodology that works for you. But yeah, definitely try to spend as little as possible, and try to maybe make as much as possible, right? So yeah, just figure out where you stand on that and go with your gut. Interact says, I'm subscribing you now. You're a nice guy. Thank you. I appreciate that. You're pretty cool too. I appreciate you coming in. Yep, see? Cougar Man says the same thing. Only gamble what you can afford to lose. And don't always think that the next hand is going to be the one. You know, the next one is going to be the one. You're just going to go down the line. And that's why I'll take whatever I choose, like 200, 300, and then I go from there. I try not to, because I don't have that kind of luck. I'm lucky in different ways, and gambling is not my thing for luck, so I don't get it. So that's why this is what I plan on losing, and if I come back with more money, cool. If I come back with some money, awesome. If I come back with no money, whatever. I expected that. So yeah, everybody's got to figure out their own situation on that. I was young and stupid, still young and stupid, but learned my lesson. Will never gamble. Luck is not on my side when I gamble. Yeah, that's generally true. That's me. Some people are just lucky. They'll, you know, I'll throw down the same coin and they'll get it, and I won't. Makes no sense, but it is what it is. That's why, you know, I don't like talking positive, but I'm not also gonna sit there and talk negative about it. It's you're old enough to know better. Just like other things in life, overabundance is always a bad thing. A little bit and variety is always a good thing. So, you know, you just got to figure out what's good for you. Peter, what's going on? Just watch a cop chase in LA? Oh boy. On YouTube? Nice. Place here that I want to go, it's a botanical garden. So one of these days I'm going to swing over here, go walk out there and do a little hike. They got a tower and everything, so I might see if I can get away with flying a drone out there, get some beautiful views of the garden and area. And they caught the guy. Nice. It's always fun to watch. It's never fun to be the guy. You never want to be that guy. But it's always fun to watch those train wrecks. Goodbye, DREADPOOL. It was nice talking with you. Have a safe trip. I appreciate it. You have a good night, Dennis. I appreciate you coming out and chatting with me and everybody else in the chat. You know, it's been a good time. So you have a good night. Thank you again. They need to bring back cops, but go live cops 25 and 26. That would be kind of cool. Cougar Man says goodnight, Dennis. So yeah, that would be kind of cool, Peter. I mean, I don't watch as much TV as I used to. I'm too busy working and editing and trying to go to certain places and then volunteering my time for charities and stuff. So. But I'll watch some shorts, I'll watch some videos on YouTube when I can. So yeah, it'd be fun to watch something like that. Well, feel free to ask any questions now while you can. We've been streaming for over an hour, and I think I'm gonna get my phone charged back up because battery life. You guys have any questions about haunts, about anything else in particular, travel, scare acting, feel free. They need cops to go to a small town in America that thinks they're cities when I know they're not. So you and Death Dealer created your own haunted house? Yes. We have Mom, which is Mother of Mayhem, and myself and Death, and we sponsor our own house for charity. So there's a group that does it, and we do our own house in there. So it's Fridays and Saturdays, and then I still try to do everything else throughout the week. Is there video of it? Yes, there is. I've got video on the drone channel, so FPV Dread has video. It's during the daylight, so you're not seeing anything. Obviously, I'm walking through at night on this channel, and when I do that, I'm obviously not in my spot to scare people, so you're not seeing anything. So you get to my section and it's missing a scare. But it's one of those things. I plan on, as long as everything goes well, I plan on recording this year, this weekend, and we'll probably have some stuff up. I did have a little walkthrough on Files of Horror where I walked through the trail backwards just to have something to throw up there. So you'll see that. But that's not the official walkthrough. It's just walking through the trail, and we're closing up. Death Dealer must have a blast terrifying people. Yeah, she does. She just hates it when she gets hit on, though. That's the problem. Like, people will hit on her. And she's like, I'm trying to be scary. And I'm like, some people just don't care how scary or gruesome you might look. They just want to hit on somebody. So, guys are like that, So definitely, you'll see the link on the new merch store. Go ahead and click on that if you guys want to go check out the new merch. I got some stuff that I'm working on to add to the store for this season. I just haven't had a chance to add it on there. They'd be like, I know you're scary, can I get your number? Yeah. Some of them are like that, yeah. So, anyway, I appreciate you guys coming out here, having a good time with me. Thanks again, and we'll see what happens. Oh, just to let you know, the link doesn't work, so you may have to look into it. Oh, okay. Thank you. I appreciate that. Yeah, I need to know that kind of stuff. I wonder why it doesn't work. So, yeah, I'll look into it. I appreciate, like I said, for you doing that, I appreciate it. This is, part of testing out and just chilling and talking and you know, somebody has to test it out. Even though I test it out here and there, sometimes these links kind of go haywire. So, but again, thank you guys. You have a yeah. I don't know what happened there. That was weird. So, anyway, as I was saying, thank you guys. I appreciate you guys hanging out with me. Appreciate everybody that subbed, that liked, all that fun stuff. So if you guys could share it out, that'd be appreciated. You guys have a good night, and we will see you another day or night, whichever way.